Hello, friends. Welcome to Mouse Cheers.
Cheers. John, how you doing today?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Here's the thing.
Yes.
It's getting a little colder out. We're up in New England.
Yeah.
Cheers to the people down in Florida and whatnot. But
Yeah.
it's getting colder out. The morning commutes are getting a little frostier,
Yes.
if you would. Tell me, what is your morning routine when it comes to having a frosty car?
I am lucky enough to have a car that starts from inside. So before I get in the shower, I start my car, get in the shower, come out. By the time I'm ready to go, we're good.
Very luxurious.
I'm lucky.
My car does not do that.
No, I'm sorry.
And
What's your routine?
Scraping and whatnot.
I haven't scraped at all this year.
You haven't scraped at all this year, huh?
No. Well, I can't speak for the beginning of the year because I know there were some doozies.
Some doozies.
Yeah.
But okay, interesting. My car isn't that old. It's 2015.
Okay.
It's not that old.
You paid off?
I think I have like 6 months left.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, yeah, I know, but even new cars, like mine and Ariel's car are the same year, 2021s, and my car starts, but hers does not. So it depends on the model you get, like on the base model or luxury model. I had my eye on the car that I wanted. I had my eye on that for over a year because it wasn't available in the U.S. It was just in like North Korea, and then they moved it over, and so I got it.
The Seltos?
The Seltos. It was its first year in the States as well. That's Ariel's car. We decided to get the base on that. She wanted SUV. She wanted 4-wheel drive, all that. Kind of regret getting base. We should have gotten a little more of the safety, whatever. But
right.
And then mine, the K5, was
yes.
like the continued. Well, the Optima died, and then the K5 lived, but it was always called the K5 in North Korea. So basically, basically that's what it is. But it's basically completely reinvented.
TV in the car?
No, that was an infotainment system. TV.
You like in the back seat?
No. Well, yeah, I have one. It doesn't come with a TV in the car, no. We have a DVD player TV that is hooked onto the back seat for Sebastian to watch like Frozen or Encanto while we drive. While we drive to Florida.
I understand. I'm not a big fan of Encanto, but I support Frozen. Some good scenes in Frozen.
Good scenes in Frozen. So why don't you love Encanto?
Here's the thing. One, I would have liked it better if maybe, and before I give out all this hate, I'm a big Lin-Manuel Miranda fan. Big fan.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think I'm not. I liked the movie. I'm just going to say more hate than positive just because that's what we're focusing on at this moment.
Okay.
I didn't care for any of the music. And I don't understand. I'll go even further. I don't understand how We Don't Talk About Bruno is such a hit. And apparently it was bigger than Let It Go, which Let It Go is on the news and stuff like that. I've never heard We Don't Talk About Bruno on the news. How is it bigger than Let It Go?
Where'd you hear that it was bigger than Let It Go?
What are you talking about? It's everywhere. It was like a thing. Like, it's the most popular Disney song trending right now, bigger than Let It Go was.
Well, We Don't Talk About Bruno was an ensemble number. So you can imagine people are probably singing that and recreating that and all that stuff. There's probably a bunch of versions of it out now. I heard it in the grocery store on the radio.
It doesn't do anything for me. Really, almost none of the music does. The ending confused me. I don't know.
I think you have to watch it 1,000 more times because that's how many times I've seen that movie. 1,000 times. And you know what? That movie just hit a year old.
I don't want to say so. Oh, it's been a year already?
Oh, what do you mean already? Dude, I've seen it 1,000 times. It feels like it's been out for 10 years.
Well, this is your fault. What made you go, hey, let's put Encanto on for Sebastian?
Listen, okay, so we put on things, and some things stick, some things don't. Encanto has music, and children react well to music. And that's why I think that Disney needs to realize, and I think some of them do, but some of them don't, like Bobby Chapek, need to realize that musicals are where you're at. Do fairy tale musicals, or do original stories like Encanto, but have good music. That's where you're at. That's where you shine. That's where you make your money. That's where your fan base truly lies. Strange World, it's gonna be the biggest flop in like Disney history. Lightyear was a flop.
I did not like Lightyear.
People didn't like it. I didn't watch it yet, and I'm a huge Disney fan.
You're gonna be disappointed in the Zurg reveal.
Yeah,
I hated it.
So,
But,
I don't know. I think Encanto was great because Lin-Manuel was attached to it.
And big Lin-Manuel fan. Big fan.
Yeah.
Honestly, not joking.
Yeah.
But it just didn't hit home for me. Whereas Robert Rodriguez,
Kristen and Robert.
big
Rodriguez.
fan before they did Frozen. I was a big fan of them before they did Frozen. Then they did Frozen.
Lopez. It's all good.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Sorry.
You're good.
Lopez. Big fan.
Yes.
You wouldn't guess.
By the, he wouldn't guess by the fact he didn't know their name.
But
they
big fan before Frozen. Then
Yeah.
they did Frozen, blown away. Then they did Coco, blown away,
Yeah, and before that they did Winnie the Pooh.
blown away.
Yeah, excellent songs. Then obviously Broadway they helped. I don't know if she did, but Robert Lopez at least with Book of Mormon. And the Lopez's wrote Avenue Q music as well. Just catchy stuff, regardless whether or not it's your bag of chips or if you like it. It's catchy stuff. So they write likable music. I would argue Manuel Miranda does the same. Likable music, really clever music, and really just like wraps it all in a package. Like. Songs call back to other songs and music.
And I agree with you.
Yeah, Moana.
Big Moana fan.
Yeah.
Shiny wasn't that great, but big Moana fan. Big Hamilton fan.
Mm-hmm. You like In the Heights?
I haven't seen it actually. I saw the opening number, but that's it.
So the opening number of the movie impressed me. Did it impress you?
Yeah. In a musical movie making sense, yes, because there have been some doozies, like Gerard Butler and Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
But it didn't seem like the kind of story that I want to watch for 2.5 hours. But I also didn't give it a fair shot. So
I didn't love it, and I really wanted to.
I'm
like, oh, that first 7 minutes was banging. Well, I'm gonna love this, and I tried and didn't love it, unfortunately.
He also, if I'm correct, directed Tick Tick Boom.
Oh yeah, he did.
Which was okay. I didn't love it.
It's one of those.
But he had, and even I noticed some problems with his directing. But he did do one or two things that I was really impressed with, directing wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we won't get into it because that's not what we're talking about. But I can tell you later.
Okay. I mean, it was one of those movies. After I watched it, I'm like, okay, I'm glad I saw it, but I don't want to see it again. Yeah, same. Okay, yeah. But then you got movies that warrant repeat viewings, like constant repeat viewings.
Let me tell
with
you,
just like great.
Sometimes it's not just about the movie as a whole.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to put the movie on the big screen and watch one scene.
Yeah.
Because that's the mood. Either that's the mood you're in, or that's the mood you want to be put in.
Yeah.
Done and done. Some of those scenes or animation.
Yeah.
Let me specify, because there's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
If I say a scene,
yeah,
let me use this as an example, and let me know if you appreciate. I'm gonna go with Inside Out.
Okay. Yeah.
Riley's dreaming. Joy is on dream duty.
Mm-hmm.
She's watching the dream, of Riley ice skating.
Yeah.
And she ice skates with her.
Oh yeah, that's a really beautiful moment.
What a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
What a beautiful scene. What beautiful animation. What beautiful music to go with it.
It's just when that scene's going on, there's so much going on.
Yeah.
You see the connection between, Here's the thing about Inside Out real quick is like people I feel have a hard time grasping the concept because it's such a intricate concept. Be like, this, I don't like the idea of this girl is literally being controlled by 5 individuals. No, that's not what it is. This girl is feeling things on her own. These are her feelings, and this is what's going on in her brain because she's feeling these things. So it's not like her emotions are working themselves out. It's not individuals controlling a body like a robot.
There are times throughout the movie where they're not doing anything because there's a control board or whatnot. They're not touching it for long periods of time.
Right.
And Riley is still fully functional.
Yeah. So it's a concept that I think some people look at the face value of it and be like, I don't like that idea. I'm like, no, it's a little deeper than that. So basically, and the whole, we'll do an Inside Out episode, I'm sure, one day. So, but that scene, ice skating is a really cool call out because that I remember in the theaters, I'm like, this is a really nice moment, and when a movie takes its time to just be quiet for a minute and have a moment like that, it's really special.
It's very special.
Yeah. And
it's a go-to scene of mine when I think of some of my favorite Disney scenes.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk great moments in animation.
Let's do it.
So that Inside Out scene is really good. I'll call out Let It Go right away because we were talking about Frozen.
What a scene.
And that was one when I heard the song. So not just the song, but the scene too. But when I first heard the song, they released it as a single with Demi Lovato singing it. And I knew Idina Menzel was going to be voicing Elsa. So I listened to the song, and I'm like, this song is really good. It's really catchy. I think it's great. What's it going to be like when Idina sings it?
Right.
And sure enough, it blew up. Became like the hottest Disney song in like a couple of decades.
Mm-hmm.
Easily. Probably even more popular than like Circle of Life and stuff or what. But
yeah. Now here's the thing: a lot of people may not take the time to actually stop and appreciate it anymore because they feel it's overplayed.
Yes,
which
you got to back up.
To be fair,
yep.
Let It Go was very much overplayed.
Yep.
But if you sit down, get that out of your head, get it out of here.
Yeah.
Don't want it there anymore.
Yeah.
And you watch the scene for the animation, for the story, and with the music behind it. Especially, I don't mean if you have more points you want to make, but I don't mean to talk over you.
No, not at all.
But even during, in the middle of the song where there's a bit of a instrumental before the bridge, And for the non-musical people,
Yeah.
right before she goes, my power fury to the air into whatever. The music hits keynotes.
Yes.
Bam, bam.
Yeah.
And then lights.
Things are happening. Like it's like a show.
It goes to the music.
Mm-hmm.
What a craftsmanship that is.
When I saw that in theaters, I'm like, ooh, that's so Disney. Like that, like in the parks, and like it hits notes with the lights or fireworks or something like that. And I'm like, that is such a Disney magical thing.
Mm-hmm.
The song itself, after the scene that happened, how she's feeling, building her tower, discovering how far her powers go, is one of the better animated scenes in like any Disney movie. I would put it up there with the best of them, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because and here's the thing, when it comes to the animators, how it works generally, or at least to my understanding, is animators, they have many, and animators work on only seconds at a time.
Yep. And it's not always in sequence. So like, hey, you're working on, when Elsa does this and a bridge, an ice bridge forms. You work on those 5 seconds. And your other assignment is you're working on Elsa lying in prison with the cuffs on her. Those are your like the same animator could just have seconds at different times in the movie, and there's like many animators. So when you're watching a movie, an animated movie, and that animator is watching it with their family, they could be like, I animated that, or I animated that. It's wild.
Crazy. And for people who don't either know that or maybe not appreciate it, let's be honest.
Yeah.
You're honestly missing out. This is not pushing buttons here.
No. This is crazy stuff.
This is crazy stuff.
Yeah. But like they're taking videos of themselves.
Yeah.
Like to see how to animate somebody, or how to animate somebody running, or how to like pretty great stuff. Some of my favorite watches are some of the extra features on Disney movies to see how they were made. And then after, I'm like, it's so riveting the whole time. And then afterwards, I'm like, but I still don't know how at all that it was made.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Like, how do you do it? It's such a machine. Like, I don't get it.
I couldn't even fathom. I
don't know. So
couldn't tell you. But let's talk about an animation style that happened once, haven't seen since, loved it instantly, rewatch it, still blown away today. And I think you'll know where I'm coming from. Hercules.
Oh, okay. Could have guessed.
Here's the thing.
He loves Hercules. It's his fave.
Big fa-
Oh, we got to do our top favorite animated movies one day.
Bookmark that.
Bookmark it.
The animation style they went for in this is very much I don't even know how to describe it. For all the Wind Waker fans out there, of video game fans, Legend of Zelda, it very much the same thing.
Like where the puffs of smoke have like a roundedness to it, and
to it, and but also there's like when you're in Olympus and whatnot, and the background is, because obviously it's not clear blue skies. It's supposed to be like this heavenly place. It's I honestly can't even describe it. It's not, when you look up at the sky, we see a clear blue sky. It's beautiful, yes. This is not that. This is a collage of colors that come together to show something heavenly.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Wild.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild. And I love things like that. And then I just get into that kind of style, like you were saying, like the puffs of smoke and like the round,
The shapes, the different shapes
and
of
whatnot. And during the midpoint of the movie, the big fight between Hercules and that giant monster, where if you slice its head off, it grows more heads.
The Hydra is it called? Yeah.
John.
What? Yeah.
Look me in the eyes and tell me that you've seen something like that ever since.
No,
you have not.
Yeah, that's a really good.
I'm blown away. This was 97.
Yeah.
This was 1997.
Yeah.
I am blown away today. I would put it at number 2 next to Let It Go.
Yeah.
That animation style was unbelievable for today's standards.
Yeah.
And this was done 25 years ago.
Yeah. That Hydra scene is definitely high point of that movie.
Oh.
And not only that, I'm watching it, I'm like surprisingly like just show a decapitation, heads growing, you're just cutting off heads. I don't know, would Disney do that nowadays?
They wouldn't do it nowadays. Yeah. And let's talk about this. I know I'm straying a little bit, but
that's good.
Let's talk about having a moment where I love sitting in a theater and going, they lost. They lost.
Yeah.
We talked about it a little bit with Incredibles 2 with a screensaver.
Yeah.
In the theater, I was like, well, that's it.
They lost.
They lost.
Well, even
in
like Toy Story 3, at one point, I'm like, okay, so we're doing this.
Yeah.
They were dying.
Dead, yeah. Hercules gets to a point where there's hundreds of heads. And he lost his sword.
Yeah.
Pegasus is gone. Phil is no help. He even says in the middle of screaming terror, we didn't cover this in basic training.
Yeah.
John.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah.
He's done.
Yeah.
And then comes out. And those are the moments in cinema, people, that you stand up and you cheer inside a silent theater, even though it's a movie, even though it's not a live show. You don't applaud. You're not applauding actors. You stand up and cheer, John.
Yeah. He loves it. He loves Hercules. But no, 100%. That's a good call out. I'm glad that you went there, because that's one that I wouldn't have thought of, but I completely agree with. I'm gonna go a different route. I'll go a story route, and I'll go with my favorite, Hunchback of Notre Dame, where there's plenty of beautiful animation in it, but particularly the first 5 minutes of the movie, where Clopin is telling the story, and it basically shows the backstory of Quasimodo's mother, how she got murdered, Frollo finding the baby, about to put it in the well. Basically, that whole first 5 minutes, the Bells of Notre Dame, the song The Bells of Notre Dame, the animation that goes with it, the story being told, the darkness of it by Disney, Frollo about to drown a baby, just killed somebody on the steps of a church, very spiritual aspect in it. All the statues on the cathedral start looking at Frollo. You see that twinge of fear in him, and then he the archbishop has him care for the child, keep him in the bell tower, and names him Quasimodo. Basically, the beginning of the movie to when the title enters, the whole song "Bells of Notre Dame" I think is one of the best animated scenes in all of Disney.
I hear you there.
Yeah, so like whereas Hercules, it's a scene of like technological marvel, this in my opinion is like, and again, another thing that Disney just wouldn't do nowadays. Just this dark story, like on a story level, I think it's just tops.
And it does. I'm glad you bring it up, because specifically with exactly what you said, it covers what the story is of the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Because who is it? Victor Hugo when he wrote his book, and he wrote Monsters of Books, this is a book where, yes, there's a story in it, but ultimately,
Yeah.
this is about Notre Dame.
I think the original title was Notre Dame de Paris. Just like, it's Notre Dame. Things happen, Notre Dame still stands.
Still stands. It saw everything.
Yeah, right.
That's
Pretty
what,
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
what the opening showed.
Yeah.
That it really captured the essence that Victor Hugo was going for.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually.
Perfection.
Real nice.
Perfection.
Glad you said that, because I wasn't even thinking that. But you're right.
Mm-hmm.
It does capture that feeling like, it's not about the people. This is about Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And, like, things happen, things come and go. And even at the end, in the end of this movie where Quasi lives and everybody lives, they leave the cathedral and stuff, and the cathedral stands.
Right.
It's just a snippet in the life of the cathedral.
And that's a movie that has layers, because you can watch the movie and not think anything of it and go, that's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
But then you can watch the movie, think deeper in it, think thoughts like that. Oh, this is about the building. This is just about like the building, and a story's happening around the building, and the history this building has seen. And long after this movie is done, this building still has a history. There's just something. There's something
That's beautiful about it. It's poetic about it.
This is poetic about it. Is what it is. Is what it is. Yeah.
We're definitely gonna do episodes on like just all the animated films, like individually at some point.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And I can't wait to talk at long lengths on that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
let me hit you with not necessarily one scene, but scenes. And it's a little different in the sense of what we've been talking about, where we've been talking about like pure perfection. But I want to talk about for a moment how we can jump back and forth into very different scenes, if you will.
okay.
And I want to talk about Sword in the Stone.
Okay.
Sword in the Stone is what it is. Done and done. They're fish at one point.
Mm-hmm.
They're squirrels at one point. They're birds at one point. John, this movie takes you underwater.
Yeah.
This movie takes you to the skies, to the trees, in the woods while they're hunting.
Yeah.
This is a movie where the animation is, and again, early movie as far as Disney history goes.
Yeah.
So this is not even like today. They didn't have what we have today.
Right.
This had to have been an undertaking. And to watch it today, from going and certain moments in each pop out at me, like when they're fish, they're underwater.
Merlin.
The boy,
Arthur.
Arthur swimming. I think he got separated from Merlin or whatever, and he's swimming through seaweed.
Mm-hmm.
There's a moment where you only see seaweed. Now you can look at that and go, "Yeah, it's just seaweed," but like there's nothing poetic about that. You just draw some seaweed. No, you don't understand. He's swimming through the seaweed. I'm not looking at a still image of seaweed. I'm looking at this beautiful terrain, and then just quickly the seaweed comes, the seaweed goes, and then there's that beautiful underwater background again. They didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
It's just that little thing that you
right.
can add because it does add.
Yeah.
And adding because it does add is a creative choice that you have to be gifted with.
It's the Disney way.
That's
what puts Disney above.
It's what puts Disney above.
They do things not for the sake of simplicity. Mm-hmm. They'll do things, and they were the masters of, matching music to visual, like but not just matching music to visual, having the visuals hit moments in those songs. Fantasia being the third movie ever by Disney is still one of the best examples of that. Crazy, and they did a couple others after that, but they incorporated that in the movies, and I really appreciate that. So I agree with you. They hit where they don't need to hit. Dumbo, pink elephants, like that whole scene. It's just like this. It's almost like, hey, it's almost like Walt said, hey, I want this weird, crazy scene where, Dumbo is drunk and he's going to be having like a fever dream of pink elephants. Use your imagination and just go. Because that's what it feels like. It just feels like an imagination trip.
Yeah.
And the animators are just using their imaginations.
Right. And
if I could call out just something similar in Heffalumps and Woozles song, it's very similar. You get in fact, there's elephants there, elephants and weasels, right? Heffalumps and Woozles, and things are happening. Like one of the Heffalumps is a hot air balloon,
right?
Like looking at him, and then it starts to and Winnie the Pooh is in the cabin of the hot air balloon, but then the hot air balloon next to him starts eating honey out of that cabin. So now that cabin's a honey pot. I don't know. It's all imagination. It's just like 100% imagination and just go. Mm-hmm. And it's going with the music too. So
I'm gonna say a title.
Yeah.
I want to see if you can tell what scene I'm thinking of when I say this title.
Yes. Okay. Go.
The Rescuers.
Eagle. The Eagle flight.
That's The Rescuers Down Under.
The Rescuers. Oh, okay. You got me. You caught me because I was ready for you to say Rescuers Down Under.
Which also.
Yeah. Rescuers, I would imagine that you're talking about the when the girl has to go down into the well to get the diamond.
Yeah.
What a great scene.
What a scene.
That's the best scene in the movie.
Right?
That stands out.
That does stand out.
Yeah. From a storytelling perspective, I think it's perfectly tense. We're invested. Mice are helping. And it's just really, just a great animated sequence.
Oh,
sure.
absolutely. Both of those movies. Great great animation, and like you said,
sequences.
I was about to say, I didn't know what to call it. Sequences, and the only sequences in the Disney library, right?
Sequences in the Disney library?
Yeah, because it's not a sequel. Like Rescuers and Rescuers Down Under, it's not a sequel. It's a sequence. Right?
No.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
No.
So, they have Wreck-It Ralph and Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Yes.
I would call Ralph Breaks the Internet a sequel.
Yes.
Because, obviously.
Yeah.
The Rescuers Down Under, I would not call a sequel to The Rescuers.
So you're saying it's another movie in the family of Rescuers. So
right.
So do you Rescuers Down Under.
Do you disagree?
It's definitely a soft sequel. Like they stand on their own, each of them. But Bernard and Bianca are to a point where Bernard wants to propose now. When they go see Wilbur, there's a note Orville not there, see Wilbur. So there's calls to the first. But you're correct. They stand alone. So yes, it's a sequel. The Rescuers Down Under happens after the Rescuers, but
I'll even say this:
very soft sequel.
I'm ready for a Rescuers 3.
Always. I don't know if you can.
Let's call. Don't mess this up. Don't mess this up. Let me just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Let's make this the perfect trilogy.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. I would need Disney to be in a better spot right now. They need to do something.
Not doing
so don't get me wrong. I think we're in the revival, right? So I think we're out of the revival right now. I think we need another revival. But after Frozen 2, which I loved Frozen 2.
I did not.
Then you got Raya and the Last Dragon. Which, did you see that?
No.
Oh, I mean, watch it. It's good. It's a Disney movie. It's good. But then you have Encanto, which I think is excellent.
And we all know my feelings on Encanto.
And then we have Strange World, which I haven't seen and I'm not barely interested.
I don't know anything about it. And
it's flopping worse than any other Disney movie.
Pixar, too. Because I didn't care for the brother one.
Onward?
I didn't care for Onward.
I liked Onward.
Then they did Luca.
Well, they did Soul afterwards.
Oh, Soul was only okay.
I thought it was okay also.
Luca.
I thought Luca was good.
Luca was good. Not great.
Then they did Turning Red.
I didn't see that.
Oh, Turning Red's good. I like Turning Red.
Okay.
Turning Red's good. I say that with a straight face.
Okay.
And then it's Lightyear.
How about put Toy Story to bed? How about put Toy Story to bed?
I'd be willing. So here's two things that I want, and I didn't even know. I would take a Rescuers 3. I would take a Rescuers 3. I want Disney to be. What I need is another movie back in the vein of the old ones. Like if they made another movie like Dumbo, like like Dumbo, not the story, but like the animation style and the whimsy and the do that. I feel that would make money, like a callback. But why not do an older style, but Rescuers 3, and do it in the vein of that? Don't do it in today's silly, right. You know what I mean? Be in better spot. I would be down for that, and I'd be down for another animated movie starring Mickey Mouse.
I would not.
No?
No. There's too much that could go wrong with that.
We'll just do it right.
Well, we better be hitting another renaissance then.
Yeah, so I want to get out of this slump and come back swinging. But Rescuers Down Under, since we're talking about it, the eagle scene is like the perfect sequence.
And
it's like, talk about something that Disney didn't need to do.
Right.
And then just like, oh, he just freed the bird. Okay, now let's have like a 4-minute flying sequence.
Oh, yeah.
With this beautiful music that used to, in Epcot, they used to have a water show to it, the fountain.
Oh, yeah.
Good times.
Really
good
something.
Memories.
And let's give a quick cheers to just the background jungle in Tarzan.
Yeah.
When Sabor falls to his death from the God, it's been a hot minute, but he like falls into a ravine, a hole, whatever you would say, and he's like crashing into the branches and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a visually very impressive scene.
Yeah. Well, a lot of Tarzan is just like the vine swinging and vine surfing.
Yeah. No. So, cheers to Tarzan. Kind of all of Tarzan.
Cheers to Tarzan. Yeah, beautifully animated film.
Yeah.
I feel we'd be like put on trial if we failed to bring up Circle of Life and just basically that whole sequence.
So, hold on. Before I say what I'm going to say, let me think. Best Disney opening.
Circle of Life.
Because it's Circle of Life and then boom, The Lion King.
Yeah. And there's no like talking during it. It's just a song and it's just all visual storytelling. It's kind of perfect, isn't it?
It sets up the whole movie.
Yeah.
They were like, okay. We have the story, but like, what? Should we just start the movie and like the lions are playing? No. You see, the lion was just born. and all the animals are coming to celebrate its birth.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Right.
Perfect.
And not only are they're coming, but we're going to chronicle their travels to get there.
Yeah. What an opening.
Come on.
What an
That's
opening.
pretty epic. It's epic.
It's epic.
Definitely the most epic. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
epic that I believe the live action did a shot for shot for Circle of Life, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Do you like the live action?
I do not. Well, I mean it's okay.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that.
There are it has its moments.
Yeah.
More bad than good.
Mm-hmm.
Has its moments, though.
Yeah. All right.
My favorite live action is probably Jungle Book so far.
I think mine's Cinderella still. I liked Aladdin also.
No.
We got stuff to talk about. So Lion King for sure. So when you had said earlier that they did an art style that they haven't done since, and you talked about Hercules, my mind was going like, what's he talking about? It was like style, like is he talking about like really bad, like Home on the Range style, or is he talking about really good, like Sleeping Beauty style? Because that's wild. That was a widescreen. Took 6 years to make instead of 4.
Yeah.
Like the artwork, the castle, the detail in the drawings, the background stuff is superior to anything.
And that's when that's when movie makers were movie makers, because today movies are coming out every 2 years, whatever.
Yeah.
No. It's not ready. 4 years in, it's not ready. Push it 6 years.
Right. Now everybody's got an eye on the prize. They're like, oh, I want this release date, and then they go after the release date. What, ready or not, here we come. Like, is the script good? We gotta hurry. It is a shame. It's a shame. We're losing quality.
It's more than a shame, and it's becoming what we're accustomed to as new generations come and whatnot, and then the older generations that grew up with the older movies, they'll look past because they grew up in a different time. Those were older movies. These are the movies today. Cinema's changing.
Yeah.
And you don't need to have grown up in those times to objectively look at it and go, this is what cinema is.
Mm-hmm.
Not what it is now. It's all about money now.
Right.
It's not about the passion of the project.
Yeah.
Anyone will watch anything that someone is passionate about.
Agreed.
And that is where we're lacking. That's where we're lacking.
I couldn't have said it better, good sir.
Well, there we go.
Yeah. I want to shout out quick because we talked about Pinocchio a few episodes ago, and I think I state that I think it's a nearly perfect animated movie.
Yes, you did. I remember that.
So Walt took the profits from Snow White and just like put it all right into Pinocchio. And you had recently watched the animated movie.
Yeah.
How did you feel? Like, when you watched it, were you looking at the animation, were you just kind of watching a movie and being like, okay, I want to remember this movie, or were you really paying attention?
When I watch a movie, any movie,
mm-hmm.
not Disney, any movie,
yeah,
I critique everything.
Okay.
I critique it. You can make fun of me for my opinions on movies, but I love cinema.
Yeah.
I love cinema in my own way. Like my cinema differs from yours and so on and so on. But in my own way, I love cinema.
Yeah.
So whenever I watch a movie, I critique everything. And I've been told many times recently, oh, I don't even know why you noticed that. I love it. So I zero in.
Mm-hmm.
I notice it. Pinocchio, we would be remiss to have not talked about it here today.
Yeah.
For a few reasons. One, because I mentioned in Sword of the Stone, going from sea to trees to air
Yeah.
and whatnot. Pinocchio does the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
We go from village to carnival to sea.
Mm-hmm.
Does the same thing, just in a different setting.
Right.
Right off the bat, love that. The talk about the undertaking they had.
Mm-hmm.
And then keeping it so that the story flows, because it's a doozy of a story. And, watch it back on our Pinocchio review. We really go in depth about it. But it's a doozy of a story.
Yeah.
A story that couldn't be told today.
Right.
It's a doozy of a story. And it has to,
Agreed.
with a story like that, this is a complex story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even talking about, the tobacco use or the alcohol use.
Right,
I'm not even talking about that.
Right.
I'm talking about the complexity of a story of literally having a child, let's call him a child, that is at zero.
Yeah.
Is at zero and needs to learn.
Yeah.
The complexity of that, just that alone, and carrying him through a motion picture, you have to be so careful. It has to. I understand it's about a wooden boy. I got it. It has to be believable still, though.
Yeah.
It has to be. It has to make sense. It has to, and you have to care for this character. You have to be. It has to keep your attention in both story and visually.
Yeah.
Pinocchio does both.
I agree. Yeah. Well said. And I stand by what I said. It's like it you could see the love in the animation for sure. The love of the passion of cinema and passion of the project, passion of the arts. I don't know where we are at for time right now.
I'd say we have like 10 more minutes or so.
Because I definitely wanted to chat about and by the way, if we hit we don't hit, we'll do other videos like this. It's like great moments in animation where we're not trying to talk about everything.
This for the most part is off the cuff too.
Yeah, we will. There's so much that we're gonna miss. There's so much more to talk about, and we will. So we're not trying to hit everything. We're not, but there's a couple of things, like we needed to talk about Circle of Life, Let It Go, Rescuers Down Under, all certain things that I think we came in there wanting to talk about.
Right.
But we have to touch on Fantasia a little more.
So this is what I thought about touching on it when you mentioned Chernobog.
Yeah.
But the conversation got away from me. Fantasia is not everyone's cup of tea.
No.
And I get it. I do. And I'll even say I have to be in a very specific mood to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just going to pop on Fantasia. But when you do, and you're watching it knowing that you're going to be watching, knowing what you've signed up for, you're going to enjoy the hell out of yourself.
Seriously.
You're going to enjoy the hell out of yourself.
Dude, that mushroom, that dancing mushroom, that's
Yep.
iconic.
It's the amount of iconic stuff in Fantasia. The mushrooms, the Sorcerer Mickey, and then Chernobog, and the amount of iconic
ending,
stuff.
like the Ave Maria.
The Ave Maria. Let me tell you something.
Like, come on.
I'm an Ave Maria fan.
Me too.
You get someone that knows how to sing Ave Maria, I'm there. I will buy that ticket.
Ticket sold.
That's another thing. You got me.
And it's directly after Chernobog to end the film,
which is perfect because Ave Maria is the Hail Mary.
Yeah.
And Chernabog is so evil.
Yeah.
You see.
So it's like the devil and the evil having their fun, and Chernabog being the devil, pretty much. That whole thing, which wouldn't be done today again.
Right.
And then Ave Maria closing it out is like a great contrast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then just Sorcerer Mickey, the Sorcerer's Apprentice, not the Nick Cage movie, but the Mickey Mouse, Yen Sid, Disney spelled backwards.
Yen
right?
Sid, you
Yeah.
know, and
The hat.
cheers to Kingdom Hearts, Yen Sid.
Oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, I want to touch on Kingdom Hearts again one day. I feel like we were a little scatterbrain on that.
Yeah, we will. And
we will.
I have more to say also,
Yeah.
especially if we really sit down and get our thoughts together.
Agreed.
You know what else I want to do?
What's that?
Just since we're talking about Fantasia, I'm thinking about what comes next. We should do an episode on the wartime movies.
The wartime era. 100%.
I haven't, I haven't seen any of them, so I'm gonna have to watch them.
You're gonna have to watch them. Oh, you haven't seen any of them? You haven't seen like Ichabod and Mr. Toad?
I saw Ichabod and Mr. Toad. That's it.
Really? You haven't seen Saludos Amigos?
Saludos Amigos, Three Caballeros, Fun and Fantasy's Free, and Melody Time.
Make Mine Music.
Make My Music.
Haven't seen them.
No.
Okay. Yeah, you'll have to watch them. Yeah. There's definitely a special place for them. And I love Ichabod and Mr. Toad. I think Ichabod and Mr. Toad's in my top 10 of all time. So there's that.
There's that.
So Sorcerer's Apprentice, I think, is a perfect cartoon in the middle for the kids, but also
Right.
it's like iconic and magical, and like Mickey personified. It's like what you think Sorcerer Mickey, like that's one of the most classic Mickeys. Yen Sid is like very powerful, intimidating. The music's amazing. The music choices throughout the whole movie are amazing. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And Fantasia 2000 was enjoyable, but it didn't even touch where Fantasia was at.
The thing is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but to me, Fantasia 2000 felt like it tried to not necessarily do what Fantasia did, but bring it to a different level in where we were for the time. Mm-hmm. Because
right,
Fantasia was early on in Disney history, and then the wartime era, and then obviously the war ended and whatnot. Because Fantasia didn't happen, the second one didn't happen until 2000.
Right,
that's years after the war era.
Right.
Different time.
Mm-hmm.
So it really has to do with the timing too. And they were like, it was just a swing and a miss to me.
Kind of agree.
Yeah.
It's not horrible, but it didn't touch it.
Yeah.
It's in my opinion. So maybe and I'd be down for another interpretation, but Disney just needs to get to a place where they're trustworthy with that, that stuff.
Yeah.
And not to go over silly, like trust your audience. Like Walt Disney was a visionary, and he did things like Fantasia. He did risky things, and he didn't just cater. He didn't just stoop to lowbrow humor.
And this is going back to what I said. If you're passionate about something, people will watch.
Yes.
If it's about the money,
you're gonna lose people.
We're seeing it happen.
Yeah,
we're seeing it happen.
That's right.
Oh, Toy Story is a big name in movies. Let's make it Lightyear.
I know. I know.
You have the money. Slow down. Take the time.
Yeah.
Take a risk, damn it. You might be blown away by the outcome.
Yeah.
You might be blown away.
Yeah. Agreed.
Agreed.
You get people who are passionate, like when Lin-Manuel Miranda comes in and helps with Encanto. I know you don't love Encanto, but some people think it's phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I think it's phenomenal. But that's a passion project, and Lin-Manuel, I think a lot is contributed to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Strange World that came out after that, and it's flopping. So there's a difference. The passion you see, and that nobody heard of Encanto. Like, that's not pre-existing. That's new.
Right.
Make your new. You're
Right.
Disney, damn it.
Yeah.
Trust yourself. Do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Pop out new stuff.
Yeah.
Sequels are welcome. Rescuers Down Under. I loved Frozen 2. Like Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3. Those were all great.
Great trilogy.
I'm just saying, sequels are welcome. Don't rely on them.
Thank you. And you know what? If you need to take 10 years to make a sequel, take a decade.
Yeah.
That's
right, James Cameron.
That's well. Hold on.
I'm gonna get you.
I'm going to. I swear on my life.
First reactions, really good.
Well, nah. So what I'm going to do? I haven't seen Avatar 2 yet. I know it's out, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But what I am yet, I haven't seen it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to, and I'm really going to do this. I'm going to Google what movie's doing, the worst in the box office. Then I'm going to go see that to support, and not see Avatar.
That's terrible. You're missing out on good passion cinema. Basically everything you just said describes Avatar 2, and you're like literally going against what you just said.
Sometimes you got to stick to your guns too.
Yeah. Sticking to guns.
But though we touched on just some of the best moments in Disney cinema history, and we missed a bunch. I know we did, and we'll definitely revisit.
We weren't trying.
We weren't trying to hit them all. This was pretty much off the cuff, actually.
Yeah.
But we hit just some of. Let me at least say our favorites, because it's what came to our heads in the moment.
Yeah.
And until we revisit this, you know what I'll say?
What will you say?
I'll cheers to that.
He'll cheers. I knew it.
I'm out.
I'm not.
Cheers.